continues to go against their campaign promises, and there is so much misappropriation of funds. There's so much looting going on, and if he dares to speak, the party will say he's disloyal. And so he has decided to leave the party, is leaving the party, that's the PDP, for the party that is the APC, that he also once accused of being, corrupt and not going by the books. And so now I'm confused. If he really wants to, help his people, he says, he wants to make sure that his people are well represented, and he wants to call the government to order. Was it not right for him to have used internal party mechanisms, to try to reach out to the governor and see how they can, bring about, what do you call it now? Bring about restitution for the people. Yes, but what do you make about the fact that, he's come out with this excuse to say, I'm fighting for the people. It's all about the people. It's the people, and that is why I have decamped to the APC. And I'm wondering really. I feel like that's some flimsy, very flimsy excuse.
He isn't the first politician to talk about the people and say he's moving to the campaign and, switching parties because of the people, for the people's mandate and all that. We've heard politicians say these things over and over and over and over again. It's for the people, it's because of the people. I did this for the people. For which people exactly? Which people exactly, okay?
The people in power, probably.
You see, the thing is, over time we've come to the realization that politicians barely ever do anything for the people, solely for the people, right? Apparently what they do is self-interest first, which of course we see play out every single time there is a disagreement or rift in between the political parties that we find, right? We don't see them coming out to give excuses as to why they want to defect because a particular political party did not deliver and then this other one is delivering to the people as it should. So apparently, I feel like he's just saying this so that at least there could be a justification as to why he's leaving the party. And then apparently he's showing his loyalty that right now, you know what, I'm with you because the other person's probably not for the people as he would put it. So it's just loyalty and it's just giving an excuse as to why he's leaving.
Yeah, funny enough, talking about personal interest in our politicians and how, ambition takes like a whole part of what they do and moves that they make. It would have been impossible to think of Togara being in the APC a few years back, It would have been, I would have been like, you crazy? I mean, this man is totally against the APC and everything, but this is politics. This is what happens. And then they want to say they fight for the people. But at the end of the day, is it really for the people or is it for ambition? For me, like Khaleda said, I feel this is quite flimsy for an excuse. And like everybody says it. It's the people's mandate. It's the people's man moving for the people. There is no concrete. You don't hear a politician talk about concrete values or certain ideas that the party has.
Come out to tell you that I'm with this political party and in so state it's not delivering while the other party is doing so well to meet the necessities of the people. So therefore, I'm going to be with the party that is delivering projects to the people.
We've seen some politicians who've come out to say, see, my party isn't doing very well. What's his name now? Ekiti State governor. At one time I'd come out to say if the APC did not put the house in order, that after Buhari, the party probably will not last. And that was his way of saying, hey, guys, you guys are not going the way and the manner you guys promised Nigerians.
Like when a politician comes out to say, I'm decamping and I'm moving to this party for the people, doesn't mean when you were in that party, you were not for the people? Or does that mean that party is not for the people when you were there knowing fully well it wasn't for the people?
What also happens when you defect to this other party that you propose is for the people and then much later you go back to the other party that's
He was in that very party in the first place. That is how he became the Speaker of the House of Reps at one time.
Oh, this is that's true. He decamped at the time, and then it's politics. It's politics. Right. I don't see just people
ambition
really care about ambition and interest.
Just all we see playing out in the Nigerian political sphere.
So talking about ambition and interest, the APC and the PDP are at each other's juggler. In Edo State, going by the fact that a rally which held on Saturday, which was supposed to kick off the campaign activities for Governor Basiki, was attacked. Allegedly, I wouldn't say allegedly. I mean, I'm seeing pictures now. It was attacked, and according to the report, the governor had led Uche Secondus, who is the national chairman of the party, and other chieftains of the party to the palace, and were returning to Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium for the campaign when the incident happened. Now, sources said the PDP campaign train had clashed with some supporters of the opposition, that's the All Progressives Congress, while making their way to the stadium. Now, people were beating, gunshots were heard, cars were escorted. According to the PDP, these young people were well armed. The APC has replied and said, see, guys, we know what you guys are trying to do. You guys are trying to make it so that, when it's time for election, on the eve to the election, you use the police in the state to arrest the stakeholders of the APC so that we're not able to participate very well in the election. And then I'm wondering, what kind of politics do we really play?
That means this plays out. If they can go that far.
Now, see the thing, this is very silly for the APC to come out to say. I'll tell you why. Because right now with this, apparently they're refuting the allegation and stating that this is just a stage play, so that they can, make use of it in the coming months for the election. Right. Now, what the APC has to do is call its house to order. Ask your followers to make sure that no pro Oshomole or pro APC would cause any sort of violence free, so that the election can be free, and nobody is going to use any security agency to intimidate or harass voters.
But what if this was stage managed? I mean, yes, you cannot rule out the fact that the APC should call members to order. But what if it was state managed? I mean, you don't take anything away from Nigerian politics.
Now, here is the thing, it would be very easy if the APC has, some sort of update on its people, right? Knowing when anything is going to happen, and then being able to come out to refute any claim by the PDP, as long as you know that there is no pro-APC that is involved in this. It's easy for you to find evidence and prove that, these people just called a few youths and then staged everything just for their own good and all of that. So I feel like this is a typical Nigerian political scene. Right?
Yeah.
So if we know what we want, especially for Edo State, both major parties should call their members to order, so that the election, in the end of the day, it would be the people who have put in anybody at all that they feel or deem fit.
Can we dare say that this is a prelude to a violent election? I mean, youths are already clashing. Allegedly, APC versus PDP. 10 people wounded. We don't have any reports of anybody dead just yet. But the point is this a prelude? This is just the beginning of the campaign season. I mean, the campaigning is not even started yet, and we've seen all of this.
The sad thing as well is on Sunday, Oshomole had gone out that when he was in a meeting, I think, with
Is it the one where he said, I sold
that
bad products?
He sold a bad product to the state in 2016. And this was when he was addressing members of the ruling party in Benin, the state's capital, where he said that he sold a bad product to the state in 2016. And then he goes on to talk about the fact that the APC's disqualification of Obaseki was in the right direction, and the defection to the PDP shows how gullible, how vulnerable the PDP is, and willing to compromise for them to also stand election in the state. I mean, all of this put together will show you that, in the end of the day, there may be some sort of tension or conflict between both parties. So it's not going to be diplomatic. It's going to be something that the violence ticketed by force.
But already we've seen tension. I mean, we've been seeing tension right from when the primaries were going to hold. But then again, violence, I'm talking about snatching ballot boxes. I'm talking about shooting people like we saw in Kogi election last year. We're talking about, maiming people, burning people's houses, that kind of characteristics that we normally see, or the characteristics that we normally see plague our electoral system. Are we going to see that? Is this a prelude?
Honestly, this shouldn't even be a discussion, if our politicians, if our leaders have done the right things. I mean, like, how many people in the past have been arrested for electoral violence? How many of them have been jailed? How many of them have been punished adequately for electoral violence? If these things had happened, then people would be careful not to, engage in electoral violence. But because that hasn't happened, over the years we've seen people go violent during elections and not being punished. So we have this discussion: will this be violent? We're already seeing tension raised. I mean, we saw elections like this whereby we see this last minute defections could lead to really high tensions within people. And looking at the state and how things are, it could really go violent if the politicians continue to incite, people against each other.
And they have been inciting.
And they've been inciting.
From Governor Wike to
Ganduje to Adams.
Yeah,
all of them have been inciting. And making it seem like a do or die affair, which it isn't. Okay?
On those talking about politicians, on those states, we had the SSG come out to say that he helped the governor rig election, and nobody's done anything about it.
Apparently, it's propaganda, isn't it? Somebody will call in and say that that's how they do elections.
But then again, investigate
because we keep calling and we keep crying that anytime a certain allegation that defames a political or a public office holder's character comes up, whether for election or whatever, you make sure that you follow it to the end. It's either the person who had pointed at that allegation is prosecuted for wrongfully doing that without any evidence or fact, or we get to the logical conclusion that yes, this allegation holds water and all of that. But then I think that with all of this going on, people would link it up to the coming election as well, and then somehow it would sound like it's propaganda.
Honestly, you shouldn't even be confident making that kind of propaganda, because look at what you said. Investigation should have been carried out. If you're found guilty, you should be punished, including the governor himself.
First question.
You shouldn't have that confidence to come out and say that I helped the governor
in rigging
elections, because that indicts yourself.
That's the very first question I asked. Stronger institutions where men will have to pay for their sins. But then again, talking about the statement by Obaseki that wealth you mentioned, is that not also an indictment on on Oshomole, because he's also one of the key supporters of Ize Yamu? Why should those state people trust him yet again? Because he said he made a mistake. It brought a bad choice.
Now he's learning from experience, right?
So why should we trust him?
Because experience is the best teacher.
All right then. All right.
So moving on, yes, we're going into the military, and Yoruba leaders are, calling out to the army and asking that no harm must befall Adeniyi in custody. Now, if you remember,
he has been in custody.
If you remember, some Yoruba leaders have asked the army authorities to ensure that Olusegun Adeniyi, former theatre commander of Operation Lafia Dole, is in safe custody. And there was a report that Adeniyi, a major general, was facing a court-martial, right? Now, a court-martial is a legal proceeding for military officers. It is similar to a civilian court trial, right? Then Adeniyi was all over the news, if we all want to remember, in March when he, put out a video, when a video was put out of him complaining of lack of weapons for troops fighting Boko Haram insurgents, and that video apparently went viral. So I'm thinking that because of that particular video, he was removed as theater commander, that's commander of Operation Lafia Dole, and transferred to the Nigerian Army Resource Center in Abuja. Now, he was later moved to the Army headquarters still in Abuja, and all of this going on, I think that still for this particular issue, the leader said the plight of soldiers on the battlefield front is adding that no one should be punished for speaking the truth. So apparently the martial court is carrying out investigation on that indictment, as well as the Tolu Lopez.
Is not the only one. Now, on Friday, I talked about Lance Corporal, I can't remember his name now, who also, after Adeni came out to speak, went on a viral video. We talked about it one time on Today's Hustle. He has also been incarcerated for about a month. It's not just court martial. It's been like held in some
custody,
got some prison or something like that for 1 month, and he has not been allowed access to his lawyer. He has not been allowed access to his wife. As a matter of fact, his wife was arrested for coming out on air and of course, to come out to say my husband has been held in custody.
So
she was held for 1 week.
That's why the leaders from this particular region are trying to make sure that people get to hear what's going on, and then the safety of this particular man and his family as well is also put into consideration. But you want to ask yourself, why all of this?
You want to say something?
Exactly the point. Like, why would you want to do that? This is a man. Everybody saw the video. Obviously, he's concerned about Nigeria. Wants the army to win the fight. It was only complaining. Okay, that we're getting wrong intelligence, and that video wasn't intended to get to the public, all right? To get to public.
It was late. Yeah, it was
later.
It
was sent to, I think, one of his senior, commanders in the army Why exactly? Okay, I understand you transferring him and putting him in some other, position, but why exactly is he
Is
being
the
kept?
trial.
do you guys remember the reason the army gave, Buratai himself gave for the transfer of these men who have been? No, there were several videos, by the way. There was the one who was insulting Buratai. There were two men who were
Okay.
insulting and showing videos of dead men. There was Adenizon, and then, of course, there was the Lance Corporal and some other videos. Do you remember the reason? The reason then was that these men are wary as a result of being in the battlefront for too long, and they were taking them or redeploying them so that they could get the
And if we all remember when they gave all of these excuses, right? Nigerians were like, "Who told you that they were wary?" Right? I mean, apparently they are even more eager to push this fight against insurgents in the northern Nigeria, isn't it?
Okay.
Right.
So redeploying them in the name of being wary of the battlefield and all of that didn't go well with the Nigerians apparently. So right now, one will want to ask themselves, I mean, doesn't this go a long way to question what we're really doing in the military?
and that is why I want to push this conversation forward right about now, because that question you asked is a very good one, a great one. Can we say the president has failed? Because I mean, PDP is calling for his resignation. Falana and his group are saying that the president cannot handle the insecurity situations in Nigeria. I mean, of course, Kaduna is no longer news. I mean, it's been trending for more than a week. And as it's trending, more events are unfolding, more people have been killed. And, on Friday, I asked the question, why? You were with me, Bolu, now. I asked the question, I said, why will the president travel to Mali for peacekeeping when there should be
When there's
peacekeeping
fire
in his backyard? So back to the conversation, taking it forward, because Well just asked a very wonderful one. What are we really even fighting? The president has refused to go by the resolution of the National Assembly, which is calling for the resignation of the service chiefs. That was also a trend last week. And right about now, we keep seeing these things. Really, what really are we fighting? Has the president failed?
Well, what's the president's major priority? To protect the lives and properties of people.
You and I. Yeah.
Exactly. Have we had people in this country die as a result of terrorism, insecurity, and all of those banditry and all of those things? Yes. This kidnapping and all of those things. Yes. This points to the service chiefs. How well have they performed? Do they deserve the backing? This backing from the president. This kind of backing
where they
from
have
the president.
have to hold people.
I mean, like
in
Buratai came out last week to talk about how the country is safer and everything, and how we have more security now. I mean, you can't keep lauding yourself. You have to you have to give it to the people to tell you when we have better security.
Have you heard of the proverbial lizard? When he jumps down from the wall, he nods his head.
Yes,
I've done very normal.
You see, the truth of the matter is that no matter how confident the president or the presidency is on the service chiefs, right, he also has to pay a listening ear to the people and the crying masses. I mean, this is not the first time there's a trend for the removal of service chiefs in this country. And probably won't be the last until maybe there's a sudden removal or resignation, as the case may be. But then you would ask yourself, why so much confidence when day in and day out we find the army, a lot of persons resigning from the army. We still find people die in southern Kaduna, Sokoto states, and just say the whole north as a region, right? I mean, and we also find that the military, once in a while, we see maybe snipers on maybe leaked video of how they come out to talk about, complain about no weapons, no welfare. Their families don't even know how they're being catered for. Their mental health is in jeopardy and all of that. Now, is this all enough to build confidence in a set of people? That's the question we need to ask the presidency, right? Because if you are not telling us or giving us good reasons, show us evidence and facts as to why you feel these people are competent enough to still be there, then apparently you should accede to what we're calling for. They should resign, bring in new people, build your confidence and trust around those people if that's the point.
For me, I don't know. I mean, we blame the president too much, I should say. I mean, we say, why have you not let the service chiefs go? What about the service chiefs themselves? Why are they not letting themselves go? Why are they not resigning? According to the information we got from the National Assembly, these guys are due for retirement.
Now the thing is, the president has come out to talk about the fact that he is in that prerogative to either remove or assign,
Okay.
isn't it? So apparently this is solely his decision. Maybe we wouldn't know if they still want to be there or they want to leave, but apparently the decision making lies on the shoulder.
Deal for retirement. Why not
The
retire?
president can stop them from going.
But if the president has so much confidence that they should be there because apparently they are the able hands, then they have
And that's
no
why.
options.
And that's why I'm asking the question: is it worth this? Like, is this support from the president? Is it worth it? Like, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to support people who, time and time again, haven't exactly done the job? I mean, like, you said it yourself. You said you've done your best, but your best hasn't been enough. Now, if that was your best and your best wasn't enough, doesn't that mean that you can't or you're not the right person for the job?
That's what it means. I mean, there's no two ways. There's no other way of explaining it. But before we go forward, let's dabble into what happened sometime last week. Ngige was before a committee, in the National Assembly. Akpabio, of course, that one did a lot of trends, was also before a committee, in the National Assembly. And both of them said they were not aware of the transfer of certain amounts of money because it did not get to their table. And by the way, these are ministers supervising those agencies. Now, Twitter was agog on Saturday when NIPOS came out with, that guideline as to how people who delivery companies what their licensing fee should be. And my gosh, it was something else. And it meant that a lot of these companies would have crashed or would crash if that license fee is legal. And the minister in charge of that, the Minister of Communications and Information Communications, the Minister of Communications and Technology,
Okay.
I can't remember, but Dr. Isa Pantami came out and said he also was not aware of the licensing fee. And then I'm wondering what really is happening in governance. I mean, if all the ministers are not aware, and that sounds like something the president will say too. When the president was asked, he said, I was not aware. At another time, he said, I am shocked. What really is happening in governance? And that's a valid question because all of them seem not to be aware.
Well, it paints a picture of a government that isn't responsible. It paints a picture of a government that isn't organized. But then again, you want to look at other countries in the world and how they've dealt with their citizens during, COVID-19 and everything, and how they've reduced taxing to its barest minimum as a result of the economic impact it has had on the citizens and all. And then you put that in contrast to what goes on here in Nigeria and how we are increasing stamp duty, FIRS, and now this new delivery fee and everything on the same people.
That stamp duty is crazy, man.
People who are poor, people who don't have money, people people whom your bad leadership have, destroyed the economy and everything for. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Who does these things? Who makes these decisions? If Patami has come out to say, I don't know, then who exactly knows about it?
The truth of the matter is that how they don't even stay abreast with information that has to do with their office and ministry and even their responsibility as the president of the country is quite shocking. Remember the last time we were talking about the president not knowing how much damage insecurity has been wrecking on the north? Because he was shocked and all of that. And then you would ask yourself, does he really know that he's supposed to protect the lives and properties of Nigerians? Does he really know that that's part of his job description? Because if he did, he should have all the information. We should even be the ones who do not even know what's going on in the first place.
Do you guys think that maybe this is, the ministers not knowing this is a result of their principal also not knowing? They say the way your principal leads, that's how you follow.
The truth of the matter is that whether or not it's the way their principal leads or whatever, the people have to realize, and we have to be selective. Because I think it was on Thursday when we're asking what caliber of leaders are we even putting into positions that matter in the country. No, honestly, because it makes no sense at all. It makes it look like the followership, that's the citizenry, doesn't even know their left from right. And what are we portraying to the bigger world out there? What are we showing to other nations? We call ourselves the giant of Africa, but we can't even stand to defend our own selves.
Now, I was supposed to be the one venting, but apparently Wealth has taken over the venting job from me. She's doing a great one at that. She's crying on behalf of Nigeria. And she should be the mother of the people. What do you guys think? But then again, before you guys came in, I was indecisive. I didn't know which one to make the 2 o'clock topic. I was thinking the least of the Niger Delta legislators who have been pilfering, or the repentant Boko Haram who graduated over the weekend. I'm wondering which of them do you guys think?
The truth of the matter is that when I think it was Saturday when I saw the news on the Boko Haram repented and graduated one, I was really, I don't know if disarray was the right words or is the right word.
Which one should we do second half? Because we have to do one of them now. Which or should we do both of them second half? I don't think it makes sense if we can.
I think we should do a Pabio
now. Second half.
Second half, yeah.
So what do you guys there think about the repentant book? I mean, schools have been shut according to Reno Mokri. I mean, government has been saying we can't open schools.
But I wonder how they graduated. Anyway, they were done virtual rehabilitation or something.
And did you see how well dressed they were in their white and green, representing Nigeria? Apparently,
yeah.
You know exactly what did they graduate in? BSc terrorism,
repentancy.
BNC,
Do you know how long it takes to rehabilitate a person who all their lives have been indoctrinated to extremism? Like, do these people understand that the hardest thing to do is convince a person otherwise about an ideology or conviction that they can die for?
I mean, let's do it our Christian brothers. Our Christian brothers.
People would rather
this is my
citizens of that.
I mean,
children.
There were pictures
mothers.
of the IDP, the internally displaced persons.
If this can soothe you, some persons who did not want to repent were sent for persecution. So, I think about one person.
Now, the point is this. How do you have these people? I'm not against de-radicalizing them.
Yeah,
you could do that one more time.
mean,
it's worth it. Like, I'm not against de-radicalizing them.
All right.
Okay, that's fine. But my point is they should go for their punishment. Face the law. Serve time.
Let me shock you.
People died while you were
Let me
not.
shock-
People died.
While you were
Soldiers
radical.
died.
Let me shock you now.
How well do you take care of the soldiers? See how well dressed they were.
I mean,
They even had socks on.
Adeni is court-martialed because he was complaining about the same guy.
People-
But let me
God.
shock you. Do you know that, according to Reno Mokri, by the way, that the government sent planes? I can't verify this. According to Reno Mokri, the government sent planes to Chad and one other country to bring back repentance.
Send planes.
Am I missing
You
words?
expect them to trek back to Nigeria?
To bring
Oh
back
my
a
God.
repentant
What
terrorist.
do you mean by repentant terrorist?
They are
Doesn't make
repentant.
sense. The word doesn't make
Okay,
sense.
let me
Repentant terrorist.
preach.
Whether you're repentant or
let
not,
me preach to you.
Oh.
You are a repentant sinner.
Now,
He
here is the
who
thing.
believes all things are what? Are passed away.
Here is the thing, guys.
This country
Guys,
doesn't have money.
guys.
How are you spending money on that?
No, let's say we want to make them repent, rehabilitate,
Take them.
whatever word. God help me not to use the word in my head. Now, let's go to the prison, right? Our correctional centers. Those people, they don't want to repent. Say the ones that have been convicted, they don't
The
know
ones
that
that
they
have
should
stolen
repent
goods
too.
and are in the prison.
They like bad things.
Because when you think about it, it's not balanced. Like, it makes no sense.
It makes no
balance,
sense.
man. Life
It
no
makes-
balance.
it makes- no. This
But life
this
no
makes
balance.
no sense. These are the same people who have killed. These are the same people who have rendered people homeless, poor.
So
My problem
Who have
is not
raped
with
people.
the rehabilitation, right, in itself. My
Rehabilitate
problem
them,
is
fine.
how much time was spent into rehabilitate
no,
them.
no.
People-
I have a problem.
I have a problem with rehabilitation then.
Now, I'll
Now,
tell you why I
hold
have a problem with rehabilitation. Now, number one, I don't really blame the government if they're looking for the easy way out. But this is where I have a problem. You're spending money, and I'm trying to find out how much they are spending for rehabilitation. You're spending money for rehabilitation, but you have not thought about rehabilitating the people who are facing trauma as a result of the violence perpetrated by these people you are rehabilitating.
You see, that's why everybody would ask the question, are we really fighting insecurity in this country, or somebody somewhere is making Nigerians look like we don't know what we're doing?
And since these people graduated, because that word, even my mouth does not want to say it. Since these people graduated from their school, whatever school it is called, terrorism has been on a high. Boko Haram attacked and soldiers were killed. Sometime 2 weeks ago, was it last week? South and Kaduna.
You want to also take into cognizance that this repentant terrorists, right, would also be given certain societal benefits. They would be given allowances. They would be given probably jobs or something like that.
Feeding, welfare, clothes, all of those things.
And guys, the federal government, state government do not have money. So where are we getting this money to source out for these people? And then the average Nigerian who is struggling day in and out to live, stay alive for his or her family, doesn't have anything.
Do you know why this doesn't make no sense? As in, doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, what is the national prison? What do we call the prisons? We call them corrective centers. Okay,
rehabilitation centers.
Okay,
Serve time while you're being rehabilitated. I mean,
it's
that's
as simple as that.
Other persons who were convicted.
That's what they do. Why do you spend money on rehabilitation?
All right, it's okay. Off your mic. Off your mic. But then again, some residents in Borno State are saying, no way. We would not allow those people back into our communities. It's either we shed blood or they live in Aso Rock. So now the people are beginning to shout out and clamor that if they are repentant, then you guys should take them to Aso Rock and keep them there. I feel like we probably have not seen the end of this matter. I feel like it might just cause a lot of, because yet again, the people in Borno, in Adamawa, in Yobe are still in internally displaced persons camp because they can't go back to their villages. Their villages, were destroyed, properties, houses, burned, they were
still
looted.
Being destroyed. Let's not say
yeah, you have a point. Still being destroyed. So we're going to open the phone lines now so we can allow you your views. Maybe you want to vent like the three of us in the studio, and you want to, just somehow help the development of Nigeria, because these are very, very pertinent issues, very serious issues, and the people need to come together. And when the people come together, nothing can stop the people from getting what they want, and that's my belief. The numbers to call into the studio with are 0817-000-0951 and 0810-951-0951. Your text and messages should go to the number 0701 9339962. All right, first call for the show this afternoon, 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon, Bolu, Canada, and Wales.
Good afternoon to you.
I'm Maluko Dayo. I'm calling you from Port Harcourt.
All right, Dayo, welcome.
Yeah, you remember my brother about this lady, Tolu Lope,
Arotile,
yes. Yeah. When I heard that day that lady is dead, something struck my mind, and I asked myself, a fighting
a combat pilot,
a combat pilot fight, that how would somebody just return from a mission and such a thing happen? And I said to myself that there is a conspiracy theory somewhere. Nigeria, we are not yet there, but we are making moves to get there, and I know we will get there.
Amen.
But there are some elements that they are not even allowing us to get there. How will a terrorist come and say that, I don't know whether they confess or not, these guys should have been used to even trace the source of their finances, how they get ammunition that they are using to fight the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Right.
But what we are seeing in this time, don't let me say this government, because Boko Haram has even been in existence during Obasanjo regime.
Right.
So don't let me add politics to it. But what I'm trying to say is, these guys should have been questioned. Why why will you integrate the terrorists into a normal society? And tomorrow we hear again that soldiers are being ambushed, that bombing is happening so place. But please, I'm just trusting God that one day that thing that we don't know.
One day it go better. It go better one day.
God will reveal it to us.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, Daya. We've got to move on now. We've got to talk to other people. All right, thank you very much for calling in there at 95.1 FM. What's your name?
Yeah, good day. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
A good day, Frank is my name from Roma Bahasa Estate, please. Sir.
All right, Frank.
I love you all so much, dear, because you are devoted all your life and program to making Nigeria
great. We love
great.
you too. We love you too.
Please, this Nigeria is a failed state now.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not.
Okay, if it is not a failed state, look at all around us, all that is going on now. The number of soldiers that have been killed, the number of our own soldiers, Nigerian soldiers, brave soldiers that have gone outside to fight, to secure other countries in our own country here, are failing to the extent we are hearing today. Look at them, these terrorists have not died that much. The number of Nigerian soldiers, these people are walking into our barracks and killing our people, the soldiers and their family members. And yet you go there, you hold them, you bring them, and you do not punish them, you not put them into where they can, undergo serious torture and a revelation of all that they have been doing all along in this country. And you are telling us that you are rehabilitating them with our money.
With our money. With our money. Tell them. With our money.
With our own money.
Yes. I agree with you.
Rehabilitating a terrorist to the extent where you are telling 600, you are graduating them, putting them in schools to come and become better, more dangerous terrorists than they have been. It is not a country. This is not a country that one can be, related with.
All right.
It is a state.
All right then.
These people that are there in government.
All right. Thank you very much, Frank. Frank, take a breather. Take a breather.
He took over from where we stopped.
Breathe in and breathe out. Thank you very much. 95.1 FM.
Canada.
Yeah, too from yes, radio in the Boski in the studio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
You can't take that away. So Nigeria is in the point of Bayelsa Bridge.
I don't get.
When I say Bayelsa Bridge, you know what I mean.
I don't get what you're trying to say. Make me understand.
Yes. Why I'm saying so is that it can collapse at any time. Bayelsa Bridge is always made up of wood.
It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. I know Bayelsa better than you do.
You don't say so. Many breaches, 70% breaches in Bayelsa.
And I said it's a lie.
Because you have been in Yenagoa where a little construction have been going. Go to other inside of Bayelsa.
Do you know I am partly from Bayelsa State? But go ahead with your contribution. But don't put falsehood on radio. That's all I'm trying to say. Go ahead.
Okay, let's forget about the Bayelsa bridges and just continue. Yeah. Thank you.
Let's keep that aside. Definitely, that is what it is. Nigeria is in the point whereby anything that comes our way, we accept it. We say, so be yes, so be so be like that. Everybody accepted it. Because our government, you can't fight them, you can't challenge them, you can't talk them. People, somebody like you normally says that the people are the problem. When I always have a problem that people are not the problem. Because if I thought people are the problem, I personally, I would have entered road. People should have killed on me and joined me. But when you do that, what will be the repercussion of it? So they have taught us to oppress or suppress Nigerians to the extent that whatever they bring it to our way, we should accept it. That is right.
Thank you very much.
Help us in Jesus' name.
Amen. It's like we're having service this afternoon. All right, this one says, I am Madison from Thai. Nigerians are aware of our politicians jumping here and there It is all about financial settlement, but why can't they give way to new recruits? This one says Adam said he sold bad products to Edo State, so he did not do marketing testing before selling the product. Then it is not a good. He's not a good businessman. As for the president and the security chiefs, maybe there is an oath that cannot be broken between them. All right. You probably might just have a point there. Mr. Anonymous from Port Harcourt, I am very happy to witness the change PMB proposed. Ministers not aware of the happenings under their noses. Repentant Boko Haram graduates, I guess some with first class degree. You probably have a point there. This country is a total comedy. Laugh out loud. And we also laughing in the studio as well. This one says, it is funny that even the least of Nigerians with their 2G Java phones now know what is happening in the north, but the president doesn't know and is shocked. Rehabilitation of Boko Haram with oil and taxpayers' money. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but the same way I feel like it's one lady standing as Annie in the morning, Wealth in the afternoon, and Bucci in the night. It is what I feel is happening in Aso Rock. Ken from Port Harcourt. I still don't understand that analogy. Got a good day. When the head is bad, so the whole body. Who obeys the law? The president, the lawmakers, or the governors? The politicians are having a field day. All right. There was a war between Okaki community and Agba last week. I'll tell the correspondents to look that very incident. And this one says, good afternoon, guys. The APC regime is the world's most dangerous regime. I've said it before and I'm saying it again. The Boko Haram economy is the third largest economy in Africa. President Buhari will build a Boko Haram university before he leaves office in 2023. O.M. Thomas. This one says, my name is Imam Man from HA in Rivers State. The issue is that APC has failed all their campaign promises, which is very unfortunate. One Nigeria youth out of poverty scam. You're fighting corruption since 2015 till date. PMB use empower to achieve. All right, thank you very much there. Melody Uniport, our government has made insecurity so commercialized and lucrative that people now perceive crime as a means of getting recognition. Our country is April Fool. All right then. This one says, good afternoon to you all. Talking about the graduation of the so-called repentant Boko Haram, it is really mind-boggling that the government is spending our common patrimony on terrorists while the innocent Nigerians, the displaced, are still languishing in the IDP camps. IK from Arabia. All right, thank you very much for that one. 95.1 FM.
Yes. Hello, Canada.
Welcome. What's your name?
Yeah. My name is Our David.
Our David, welcome.
Yeah. What I want to say is, did you see the reason why I love this rehabilitation of this Boko Haram?
No, you tell me.
Thank you. When you tell Nigerians about history, they deny it. They will think as if you don't know what you are doing. So if you look at the way things are going, you will really understand that the question I normally ask, how many times do you fail before you know you are a failure? It's working. These are insurgents that are killing people all this while, killing even United Nations agency, both humanitarian workers. Now you are coming back to tell me that you are rehabilitating them back to the society. What sort of ideology do they have in their own memory?
Let me pause you there, our David. Just in case you do not know, even the UK, that is renowned all over the world, has got pockets of terrorism daring. The United States, once in a while, has pockets of terrorism daring. Germany, of course, was plagued by terrorism last year and the year before. Belgium, the list is endless. France, but they have not called themselves a failed state. And so I just wanted to pause there and correct you.
What I mean is, this country you have called now, if you go to their place, if not for any other thing, you will see power supply 247. That is number one.
But there was a time when they didn't get it right as well, but they were not a failed state. But thank you very much, our David, for calling in. I'm not going to indulge in that conversation. 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Sunday. I'm calling from Modibo, River State.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Let me start from
Niger Delta here, for example. We have these guys at the creek producing bonfire kerosene, as we may call it. This government have never seen any effort of these guys, even though we may not support them originally, but this government have not seen any reason why they should call these guys together and say, okay, since you guys can produce something like this, let us rehabilitate you guys and give you guys license and see how far you guys can go in the economy of this country. That's the point. Now you are rehabilitating Boko Haram based on what fact, based on what benefits, and where are you going to fix them into Nigeria for the betterment of this country? I want to say this. You guys may not really agree with me on this, on what I want to say, but I'm seeing this as a game plan.
If it's okay, go ahead. I wanted to say if it's bad,
I'm
don't
seeing
say
this thing as I'm seeing this thing as a game.
All right.
I'm seeing this thing as a game, whereby these people know maybe Nigeria may really collapse tomorrow, and let us see the guys who are going to use to fight these people.
Right.
That's the way I'm looking at it, because if you are rehabilitating these guys without any provision of where you are going to fix them, then what is the essence?
All right. Thank you very
So
much.
that's my take.
Thank you very much for airing your opinion there. 95.1fm, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Canada?
Mascot.
Thank you so much. Olu and West.
Good afternoon, mascots.
Thank you. Honestly, the problem we have is, lion. When a lion becomes old, lion is the king of the jungle. He starts for us. Oh, Buratai has stayed such long in that office and he has lost ideas completely and thoroughly. For me, even the court martialing of measures in our illusion that one of our best cops is nothing but an idea coming from a lost idea. That is why Canada, somebody like Dogara, who is soon or who has already become like Galoma and Abba, moving from one party to the other, from APC to PDP, and from PDP to APC, one day, very soon now, will become so much politically irrelevant like Galoma and Abba. Remember, Salada Saraki, he was in PDP, he moved to APC, the entire state moved to APC. He went back to PDP again. At the time, they said enough is enough. He thought now that maybe because he joined the PDP and helped in forming this present government, he has become so much relevant. I don't know what will happen so that they will not give him the therapeutic treatment. And for those, my dear brother, if there is any breach of security, let us hold one Easy Yamu responsible, the billionaire businessman Okumbo responsible, and the man who has been thrown away from his office. Very shameful.
All right, Masco, thank you very much. We've got to go now, yeah? Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling in. All right. Let's do this text message. It says, Kalada, my brother, Adam himself is a bad market. As for Boko Haram repentance, what a dirty story. Angry man. All right, then. 95.1 FM. Last caller.
Hello, Mr. Kalada.
Stella West.
Yeah, Mr. John.
Oh, Mr. John. Mr. John, welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I want to talk about Adeni video against the insurgents and Nigerian army.
Okay.
That act alone is an act of irresponsibility. I want to ask you, Kalada, a question. If your boss, or maybe Nigerian, if today's FM, management is not doing well, or there are certain things that are not okay, there are right channels for you to channel your grievances or your complaints.
All right.
Not Canada will not go and make a video to show the world that Nigeria,
but we also heard that video was leaked. It wasn't directed to the public. It was leaked.
That is whoever that has leaked it have put him into trouble.
So if it was a memo and it was leaked, do you think he would have been in as much trouble as the video?
Still the same. There are in the army is a very disciplined organization. It's not where you just.
They're not looking disciplined right now.
Yes. Even those last corporal and others that are making video, they know the outcome of whatever they are doing. They know the repercussion. You don't just go and make videos, or army don't even tolerate protest. Not talk of making such videos. You have channels where you can go and table your.
Right.
They know the defense headquarters. They know everywhere where they can
So,
go.
what if they have
make their
done? What if
complaint.
they have done it? I mean, you're here and you're
Yes, if
judging.
you
What
have
if they
done
have
it,
done it and it's not
even if
yielding
you have
any?
done it,
Oh,
even
really?
if you have done it,
Really?
yes, you don't have the right.
Okay.
There are rules. You don't
All
go
right.
against the rules.
All right,
You don't
then.
take laws into your hands.
All right then.
So what he has done, he has to face the music, and all those people that are trying to protect him, they are even making the matter worse for him.
All right, John,
Because
we've got to
don't look
go.
at face when they do things.
We've got
They
to
will
go
deal
now.
with things seriously.
All right, thank you very much. We've got to go.
You see, the thing is, I would have loved us to take him up on what he said, but I think we're out of time
Yeah,
for
out
the
of time.
first half.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll just close the curtains for the show, the first half, and after the news update, we'll be back for the second half. So don't go anywhere. Just stay with us.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon. Here's the news update at 2 on Today 95.1 FM. I am Kala Dakoru Batabo. Rivers State Police Command has confirmed a cold clash that led to some casualties in the early hours of today in the Amadiama area of Port Harcourt. There were sporadic shootings around Amadiama where 2 persons were reportedly shot during the said clash. But the spokesman of the command in Namdimani, who is the superintendent of police, in his reaction said no life was lost in the clash between rival cold gangs, but confirmed that the tricycle rider sustained bullet wounds and was rushed to hospital for treatment. SPO Muni said the command has mobilized its men to the area to calm the situation. While reacting to reports of incessant attacks by members of cold gangs in the state, SPO Muni said the police expect residents of affected areas to report such incidents to the security agencies. A Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has adjourned till 5th August 2020 for hearing of the matter instituted by former acting managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Joy Nunia, against the Nigeria Police, the Inspector General of Police, and Department of State Services. Other respondents on the matter are the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, and Niger Delta Development Commission. Our correspondent Uchenjo Jawo reports that when the matter resumed for hearing, counsel to the applicant, Sylvester Adaka, informed the court that the first and second respondents were Nigeria Police and IGP have refused to acknowledge the court processes served on them. Adaka therefore sought the leave of the court for motion ex parte for substituted service, which was granted by the presiding judge, Justice E. Thompson, without any objections. Counsel to Joy Nunia, Sylvester Adaka, explained to newsmen outside the courtroom his reasons for seeking for the leave of the court for substituted service on the 2 defendants. You would recall police operatives that attempted to arrest the former acting managing director of the NDDC, Joy Nunia, before the intervention by Governor Nyesom Wike. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has issued a fresh summons on all 7 and former heads of the Niger Delta Commission to account for billions of naira allegedly unaccounted for. The House Committee on Public Accounts issued the summons based on queries issued by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation on the accounts of the NDDC. This is different from the probe being carried out by the House Committee on the NDDC over alleged illegal spending and mismanagement of funds totaling 81.5 billion naira. Those who appear before the Committee on Public Accounts to explain the alleged missing funds include the acting managing director and the head of the interim management committee, Professor Daniel Pandya, a former MD, Timi Alaibe, and the immediate past acting MD, Joy Nunia. The committee's chairman, Wole Oke, said the IMC could not answer the queries issued by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation, as some of the spending were done before it came on board. Other former heads of the commission listed to appear before the committee include Osato Arenyeka, Christiana Atako, Basi Dan Abia, Ibim Seminitari, Insima Ekere, Professor Nelson Brambaifa, who is to appear with his EDFA Chris Amadi. The predecessor to Joy Nunia, Enia Akwagaga, is also expected to appear before the committee. Some other members of the various boards of the commission are also expected to appear before the House Committee. In the meantime, the committee chairman, OK, has also faulted the federal government's plan to engage forensic auditors for the NDDC, which he said means a lack of trust in the capacity of the Auditor General of the Federation and his workers. President Muhammadu Buhari is attending a virtual meeting of the extraordinary session of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government. The main agenda for this virtual meeting is the political situation in Mali. In attendance alongside the President is the Secretary General of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, the National Security Advisor, Baban Gana Mongono, the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Gambari, as well as former President Goodluck Jonathan. West African heads of state in attendance include George Weah of Liberia, Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana, and President Ibrahim Keita of Mali. Also present is the ECOWAS Commission President John Claude Casimiro. On the foreign scene now, Zambian Member of Parliament Princess Kasune Zuli, who is living with HIV and is a prominent AIDS activist, has announced that she has tested positive for COVID-19. Zulu, a member of the opposition United Party for National Development, was tested last Thursday. According to Health Minister Shitalu Shilufia, some 15 Zambian MPs have so far tested positive for COVID-19, leading to the indefinite suspension of parliamentary sittings. Zulu told the BBC that she was not surprised by the test results, partly because Zambia's parliament had initially continued holding sittings despite the rise in coronavirus numbers. She encouraged people with already existing health conditions to adhere to medication in the era of the coronavirus. And that was the news update at 2 p.m. in Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget, please do take responsibility. Wash your hands frequently with soap on the running water. Always have with you at all times alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Avoid touching your face and eye contact surfaces to prevent the spread of coronavirus. If you can, please do stay at home. Otherwise, observe social distancing and always wear your face mask when in a gathering of 2 or more people. COVID-19 is real, but it is not a death sentence. Good afternoon. I am Kala Dakorubatibo. Stay tuned. Today's also returns after the break.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
I am a proud Nigerian. I have been placed here by God for a time such as this.
Pack my bags, I ain't coming back. The degradation, challenges, and problems faced by Nigeria are the perfect backdrop for me to develop and utilize my God-given potential.
I will not complain. I will not criticize. Rather, I will use my skills, gifts, relationships,
and experience to find long-lasting and revolutionary solutions to the many challenges confronting Nigeria.
Nigeria will rise again.
Because I am here, I will leave this nation
a better place than I met it. I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth.
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God. Let me tell you how I got this far.
This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. I I am a proud Nigerian. I have been placed here by God for a time such as this.
Pack my bags, I ain't coming back.
The degradation, challenges, and problems faced by Nigeria are the perfect backdrop for me to develop and utilize my God-given potential.
I will not complain. I will not criticize. Rather, I will use my skills, gifts, relationships,
and experience to find long-lasting and revolutionary solutions to the many challenges confronting Nigeria.
Nigeria will rise again.
Because I am here, I will leave this nation
A better place than I met it. I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth.
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God.
Let me tell you how I got this far.
This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
you
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double leverage. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
All right, 11 minutes gone past the hour, and second half of today's hustle starts right now. And like we earlier advertised, we will be talking about the role between the Niger Development Commission and the National Assembly. Now, on Monday last week, we saw Akpabio sitting before the House Committee on NDDC alleged that certain legislators were complicit in the corruption in the Niger Delta Development Commission. Fast forward to Tuesday, last week, Gbajabi Amila came out and gave a 48-hour ultimatum to Akpabio to list the lawmakers or legislators who were complicit in the corruption allegation. And it was very funny because, a lot of us said Akpabio was trying to tell us who the people were when Boma Goodhead was asking. But, the chairman kept saying, Boma is okay. Honorable Minister is okay, off your mic. And then by Friday, we heard, is it Friday or Thursday? We heard that Akpabio had recanted his statement. But that didn't go well with Akpabio because by the weekend, we saw a report from Akpabio coming from a spokesperson, saying that, we did not recant. We listed people. The list was with the leadership. I'm trying to understand which of the leadership he was talking about, but according to the report, Akpabio had sent the list to the House or even the National Assembly, and he did not recant. And in that list, we have Senator Matthew Uogide, who got 6 projects. We have Senator James Manager, who got 6 projects as well. We have a former Senator, Samuel Ayamu, who got 19 projects. We have the former Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on NDDC, Nicholas Mutu. We also have Senator Peter Iwabuchi, who is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Niger Delta. All right, and so we have few names rather, because in that list, according to the reports, a few others were simply identified as Ondo and Edo reps. But this is where the bone of contention is for me. Last week, Bajabiamila came out and said categorically that Akpabio had retracted his statement. And when he talked about 60% of contracts in the National Assembly, he wasn't referring to the legislators, but he was referring to the health projects undertaken by the CDC. And see, it was confusion for me because I went back and I played both clips when Akpabio was making the allegations. And I mean, I couldn't understand where Bajabiamila was coming from. I mean, if you listened to that clip that we played for you on Thursday and Friday, Bajabiamila almost laughed when he said Akpabio recanted the statement. He almost laughed. I don't know if I was the only one who noticed it, but he almost laughed. And then, in my head, I was like, why are these people taking this for granted? Why? If Akpabio really is very sure, because he mentioned he had records, why was he recanting? And now we're seeing this report, and I don't know what to say anymore. Who's lying? Is any good thing going to come out from the House committee? Because moreover, they have started another probe, and they have not finished with this one.
What we got back then, right,
Yeah.
was that he sent a letter recounting everything that he said, isn't it? Now, if apparently that letter was not sent, or maybe based on the assumption that they want us to have, right? He did not say almost exactly everything that Bajabiamila came out to say was in the letter. Then I feel like all of this is getting too much, because there is no possibility, absolutely no possibility anywhere else in the world that somebody will send a letter and then somebody misconstrues or adds or takes it or accepts or probably make corrections on certain things that were said regards the letter that he made or he sent, maybe in apology or in refutal of certain things that were perceived or presumed to he had said, maybe on the investigation and all of that. I mean, all of this is just getting too much. Well, now that he's bringing out these names, well, it's a good thing, right? And apparently, we still hope that the trial or the prosecution or the court case that the National Assembly was going to, hold against him for making such allegations still holds, so that we see the outcome of that one, and then we see the investigation on the names that he's put out there, whether or not they're true.
Now, according to Akpabio, sorry, Bulu, Peter and Walbuchi got 53 projects. 53. The former lawmaker representing...
but hold on, is that not the same Wabuchi that also accused him at some point? We have to make that clear, because tomorrow they say probably what was saying is not what was said.
Now, the former chairman House of Representatives Committee on the NDDC, that's Mr. Nicholas Mutu, who represents the Bomadi Patani Federal Constituency of Delta State, got 74 projects. 74. But now, according to this report, I'm feeling like Akpabio still has more names to call. He just gave this one and say, guy, man, don't try me.
Honestly, I feel like these are just snippets, and it shows you how much or how our politicians do not rate us, the people. They don't rate us at all, because first of all, Akpabio made the statement. Everybody heard them. Everybody saw the probe. Now you came out to say that wasn't what you said, and it was misconstrued. Okay, that was what you came out to say. And then even the Speaker of the House of Representatives came out to say, okay, yeah, you've come out with your apologies and everything. And now, for some odd reason, maybe you know what the Speaker came out to say was, we've seen the apologies, but we're still going to go ahead with the
it was going to take it to the ethics committee to see
if they were still going to.
Yeah.
And I think because of that threat, Akpabio went back to say, okay, since you people still want to drag me to court.
But Akpabio is saying that the names had already been sent, even I think with that letter.
What I'm trying to say. When
the Femi Bajabiamila talk about
that's my problem.
Thank you. Exactly the point. What I'm trying to say is why did Akpabio apologize? First of all,
Did he apologize?
Did he apologize? Is also a question because we can't be sure. We can't be sure. Maybe he sent the names with the list to the National Assembly, and then the National Assembly decided to hide that, and then turn it into an apology.
Listen now. Let's go back to Monday last week. He said, and I remember, 60% of the projects embarked upon by NDDC are enjoyed by your colleagues, your legislators.
Colleagues.
And Boma, no, you. I'm not talking about. Boma Goodhead shouted, "Hey, what are you saying? Who?" And she was, and he said, "You don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. You just
ask
the two chairmen."
That was what he said exactly.
Yeah. And then he said, "I have records. I have records here." And I'm of the opinion that if he had records there, those same records would have been duplicated and given to each and every one of them.
Here, I had a problem with what went on that day, right?
Okay.
As you said, Boma was trying to fish out or get certain things from him, right? Make him say certain things. But then there was the need for the quiet.
It is okay. Off your mic. Now,
I felt that she was the only one doing the job of that investigative panel. To be very honest, because he made allegations that needed to be trashed out there and then. Because he did not wait till the next time to calm down and think about what he would say. He said what he said, and then later on we saw that he was answering questions to previous. I don't know how they mixed that up for me because it sounded really
mixed
funny.
It up, okay?
Because they came out to say that most of the answers he was giving was not to questions being asked at the time, and then you would wonder, is it that like they were asking the questions left, right, and center, and then he was just answering at random?
But do you know that first of all, this should indict Akpabio himself.
Yeah. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Nobody's taking him away from the mix.
But before we get to that indictment, Well just made a very good observation. And see, because I also made the observation, so I played the tape over and over and over and over again. And you see, he said he was answering the guy who, before all the rowdiness, the guy who asked the question said to you, "Thank you, very wonderful questions you've asked." And then he started with number one. I remember him saying number one. And then he now went ahead to say, to your other question, number two.
Yeah.
Number one
apparently he knew what he was talking about.
Of course,
nobody was confused there. I was watching it. I wasn't confused.
Of course.
The answers were following through with the questions.
But apparently, like Bulu has mentioned, they don't regard us in Nigeria. I mean, the people. When I blame people like Eto, say, why do I blame the people? But you see, the people. They've been docile for too long, and government does them like, okay, we go survive now. We go survive. We go survive, and they come up with phrases like "life no balance." Life no balance. We go survive, and then you want to play it for, and the point is, the people keep taking this even when it's forced down their throats, and the government like, okay, you know what? Let's do this. And Nigerians will be distracted. Let's play an action movie for them. Let's do a Nollywood series in the National Assembly, and Nigerians will forget. And see, I blame Nigerians because a lot of Nigerians have forgotten. Just before the BBN started, Nigerians were hey, and Nigerians have forgotten. I have no problem against BBN. I'm just saying, Nigerians quickly forget. They are on to the next one, on to the next trending thing. And you see, it's not only the NDDC that is corrupt. The Accountant General, the Auditor General of the Federation has come out to say it's not only in the last 6 months that you should probe.
Exactly.
You should probe from the very beginning.
But the point is this, Kala, that systems don't work here in Nigeria. Okay? Are we the ones who are going to probe? Are we the ones who are going to send them to court?
But the people can probe. The people can probe.
The people can probe, but do we have the people probing right now? Is that what is happening?
Someone is saying,
do we what can the people do? We have many people who have been accused of one form of corruption or the other, and nothing has been done to them. Let me tell you this, okay? This government is all about the fight against corruption, and that's what President Muhammadu Buhari has always talked about, the fight against corruption. Well, if this government is about, fighting corruption, then what Akpabio has come out to say is enough reason for the president to say, oh, look, I've put you in this position, I have to remove you because I'm trying to fight this same thing that you're indulging in, okay? But we don't see that happening. So what more can the people do apart from talk, apart from demand? We've been demanding for years and years and years up until now. In cases like this, what kind of people do we have?
What about going on a peaceful protest? Going out and
we've gone for peaceful protest over the years. We've even had some governors who have banned protest in this same country.
I'm not saying protest. When I say protest, I mean the kind of protest, just marching. A procession like churches will do, or Muslims will do. We just go on a procession. Everybody is here. And now there'll be nobody infringing on anybody's right because everybody's going to be coming out at that time. Everybody will go, glory, glory.
We're talking about a set of people, yeah. We're talking about a set of people, yeah, where everybody said that public, hearing, and then somebody came out to say it was misconstrued. Are we stupid? No, it shows you don't regard the people. You don't regard the people. You can just come out today and say, hey, this was what happened. For a minister to be so confident to say that the NDDC awarded contracts to certain people admitting to corruption so confidently, it shows you the kind of system we operate in.
All right.
It shows you the kind of system we operate in. And this is the government that is supposed to fight corruption. In internal clients, that minister will be brought to book.
Talking about fighting corruption, Buma asked Akpabio a question last week Monday. Are you, when you say he referred to Buma, say you don't know about it, ask your two chairman rather. Buma asked him a question. Are you saying you collected money? And then Akpabio, being Akpabio, said, I'm just like you don't see then. And I'm just getting to know about it, and that's why we are trying to stop it.
Oh, we saying he didn't know about it.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
The truth of the matter is that, all of them put together, because there seems to be something fishy. At first, when he made the allegation and they needed to off his mic and have him keep quiet, to me, that was your job. You had to make sure that he spilled the beans. That was what you were put there to do. Push on and take him up on everything that he said. That is what investigations, I don't know if it's in my head or that's what real life investigations should be like.
I mean fake life.
Because I didn't understand what was going on. And then afterwards, we get a letter saying that he recounted everything that he said, and somehow he was answering questions, or he was giving answers to questions that weren't asked, or maybe giving the wrong answers to certain questions. And I'm wondering, was it that it was that confusing, or in a place like that, you want to tell me there wasn't any sort of decorum? Right? And then moving on, he's coming out to say that I sent names, and then when he sent the letters, the names weren't called. Like, what was going on? Were we not supposed to also know that together with the letters were names that he was sending or he sent to prove his allegation? Right? Now, it goes on to tell us that somehow, whether we like it or not, whether we want to be true to the facts or not, corruption may likely not be leaving us anytime soon with what is going on here. And I feel that maybe this is just to mention a few persons that, as you said, just sending a warning signal. Right. If you try what is going on now, I would send more names.
I feel like this is a warning because, the Peter Nwabuchi who got 54 projects, according to Akpabio,
earlier accused
Akpabio of, pardon the budget, over 500 million. Is it million? I think thereabout. Was it billion? I can't remember now. But there was the budget pardon where Akpabio wrote to Peter Nwabuchi to please, I beg. And I don't know how true the document that is viral online where Akpabio was going to spend how many million on just fence alone. And then somebody asks, is it the wall of Jericho? God, Twitter guys are just something else. And someone asks, is it the wall of Jericho? But the point is, these are all allegations. And like Bolu has said, if I were the president, I would tell, just like we've seen with Magu, step aside, let's investigate this, because the mantra is, the fight against corruption. I don't know.
I think it was still on Thursday when we got a circular, which of course they've refuted, right? That the presidency was going to take full charge of the investigation on the NDDC, isn't it? But somehow it was refuted, and that wasn't coming from the presidency. That's according to Femi Adesina, right? So I felt that at first when I saw that particular circular, I thought it was a good idea, because you don't know who to trust amongst the persons who are there to probe the NDDC in itself, because too many allegations flying everywhere, and it's looking like certain information hidden from the masses or something like that. So maybe the presidency should take full charge. But then again, he would have to delegate persons to do it on his behalf.
Sorry, I disagree. The presidency is also under investigation, so to say. I mean, inside the presidency is Malami, who's been accused. Inside the presidency is Akpabio, who has been accused. Inside the presidency is also Ngige, who has also been accused. Should I go on? I mean, even the presidency needs to be investigated. So this is where the people come in. This is where the people say, freedom of information. Give us a rundown, a breakthrough. Let us see documents. This should be in public space. And then the people hold a virtual parliament and begin to, ponder on whether, the spendings were done prudently or not. And that, for me, I think, we deserve to know.
Do you really think that would work?
It will.
If the people, for a group of people, a group of politicians who don't care about what you think, who don't care about
it's a lie. It's a lie. They care about what you think. But they know that you can't. But the truth is, they try to distract you so you don't ask for what is rightfully yours. I
may not believe that they care about what we think, because they wouldn't be coming out with certain things that they say.
What about Kemi Adoshin?
I feel like what's going on
Babashir
right now.
Lawal.
I feel like what's going on right now is that the people have to come to the realization that government isn't made to be higher than they are. They are supposed to be the ones in charge of what goes on in the government that mans them. You understand? So that way we're able to control the kind of, or the circle of leadership that we have, so we don't have a situation where a few persons tend to be bigger or too big for the institution that's supposed to control affairs.
I called names. Babashir Lawal. The president was not going to let him go. Nigerians shouted and they refused to let go. Kemi Adoshin. They care about what we think. But you see, with Babashir Lawal and Kemi Adoshin, they try to distract us. Nigerians refused to be distracted in that occasion, and they talked about it for months, and changes came in. Should I continue? I could tell you all.
How many more people do we have in government that we have talked about, that Nigerians have opened their mouths and talked about, and we still have those people there in government?
Because we got this. You're not getting the point.
The service chiefs. We've been talking since how long now?
They distracted us, and then we stopped, and then we started from where we left off again, and then we stopped, and we started. The same thing with SARS. We talked, and then we stopped, and then something happens again, and then we start all over again. But the point is, the ones where we were consistent, where the talks were every day, we saw results. And like I said, I'm trying to remember, but several occasions where people talked about it and we saw changes. I mean, is it during the Goodluck administration when the Nigerians kicked against the increment of fuel prices? The truth is, when the people rise and refuse to get distracted, and when I say rise, I'm not saying they should go and carry guns and no. But continue holding the government. Continue saying, we want this and we are not going to back down. Showere, for instance. Nigerians kept pressurizing till it was released. I could go on and on. Whether it was good or bad, I don't care, but I know it was released eventually. So the point is, when you hold Nigeria government, they will respond. They'll try to distract you, but they will respond.
For a government that isn't accountable, for a set of leaders and politicians who don't care about the people, there's only so much the people can do. And that's what the people can do, is to talk and talk about it. But we've seen instances where the people have talked and nothing was done. We've seen instances where people who have corrupt allegations on them are put into offices in several levels. Because state government, in the federal government.
In the space of that conversation, people got distracted. People got tired. And that's what I'm saying. No, reason from my angle. I'm not saying we have not talked enough. But the truth is, you know what they're like, don't worry, after 1 week, they go tire. And indeed, after 1 week, people get tired of talking about it. Rape case, for instances. After the old viral thing, after a week, everybody went quiet. I could go on, the list is long. I feel a concerted, continuous pressure from the people will make the government sit up. And that's the truth. Don't you realize that they care? And that is why every time it's getting towards election, they begin to do roads, they begin to do those things because they care and they want people to see them as if they are good and they are angelic, and that's the truth. But anyways, let's open the phone lines. Before we do that, we're going to quickly run to the markets and pay some bills, and when we return we will take your views on this very issue. Stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM.
Ninja Noodles Ultimate Search 2020. Battle of the Ports. The hit is on in search for the Noodles Ultimate Search winner. To participate, pick up your film at Today FM Drive off East West Road before UPTH Port Harcourt, River State. Or log on to www.noodlescookingquest.com and send a text with your full name, age, location, and a 3-minute video of yourself while cooking Indomie noodles via WhatsApp to 081 631 34209 and stand a chance to win fantastic prizes. Online auditions will hold in Oyo, Lagos, Ogun, Ekiti, Ondo, Delta, Abuja, Cross River, Edo, Uyo, Anambra, Kaduna, Katsina, Kwara, Rivers, Enugu, Imo, Osun, and Benue State. Audition entry starts on the 2nd of July to the 1st of September 2020. For more information, please call 08038943712. Get up! Pick up your pots and spoons. Let's get cooking! Proudly sponsored by Indomie Noodles, official media partners. Today 95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, that's to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
You
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double levels. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
All right, thank you for staying tuned. Time for us to open the phone lines. 0817 0000951 and 0810951091. Your text and messages to the number 0701 9339960. What do you make? What do you make of the list released by Akpabio, and what do you make of the would I call it dodging? Will I call it dodging, or will I call it dodgy, or will I call it subtle refusal to accept the fact that the list was before their table? I'm talking about the National Assembly now. What do you make of that allegation as well? But then again, the phone lines are open. The call, the numbers are ready. Time to take your thoughts.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Obina, welcome.
The problem I have with Nigeria, tomorrow now we will not hear it again. Because this kind of happened several times. The citizens don't have right again to protest or to say anything. I blame federal government of Nigeria for all these things because the whole world is watching these things that is happening in Nigeria. I'm not happy about it. Why I'm not happy? Because of if you see how much Nigeria have borrowed from China and hear how much they have been mentioning around since, from this Niger Delta area, how much people have spent and the one they useless. And see, brother, I believe something is wrong somewhere because of the leadership failure in Nigeria. The thing will not, it's getting out of hand. The younger ones don't have future again, no future. Do you know that this money they spend, they can use them build big industry for people to be employed?
Yeah, true.
But they will not do it. See, personally, me, there's nothing like one Nigeria. I don't believe that's why people. Sorry for that. Something is wrong. I don't want to be part of this country.
All right, then. All right, thank. If you don't want to be part, you can travel out. Thank you very much for calling in. Thank you very much for calling in. You can travel out. All right, we lost that call. And by the way, Obina did make a valid point there. The monies that have been spent by the NDDC since inception, since its creation, is what Rwanda's GDP is, or is even bigger than Rwanda's GDP. And even there's one other country that was mentioned. I'm just saying the money is what other countries will use for their developmental strides. And NDDC alone, NDDC alone. Oh, I know. 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
My name is Prince. I'm calling from River State.
All right, Prince from River State. Welcome.
I have problem with Nigerians and also with our politicians, our brothers, our Niger Delta brothers that are so-called politicians, because they so doubt. I remember one time in AIT, I watched AIT news. One Northerner said that we Niger Delta we don't have problem with Nigeria, that we have problem with our own brothers, that they have given us whatever thing we need, that our brother have taken the whole thing to their own pocket. And if you look at this whole scenario played it out. I don't know if you understand.
I'm listening to you, yeah?
So, for me, a way out is that we need to tell you, and not everybody should protest.
All right then. Thank you very much there. 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from? I will send Chima. Welcome.
I want to see my calling from Port Harcourt.
Welcome.
Yes, Kalana, I read a post from the National Youth Council of Nigeria. Can you hear me?
Turn off your radio, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
yes,
go ahead.
Please go on.
Yes, I read a post from National Youth Council of Nigeria. You understand? Captain as pastor who failed to read out everything that Fabio sent to them. You understand? So, people are trying to argue, does it mean that the National Assembly exclude some of the letters sent to them? It is outright truth. You understand? The speaker read part of the letter and left some. You understand? We are...
All right, sorry we lost you there. Please do call us back. Let's have that conversation. But over to the text message portal. This one says, Khaled, good day. The issue of insensitivity by the Buhari administration is very appalling. With all what is happening in this country without the president's intervention, I have always wondered that if it is not deliberate, the president might be likened to one well-known transporter who specifically warned his management not to inform him of any ugly incident in the business while it lasted. Only the profits from his business may be because he has had problems. Okay, no, come on now. Our president does not. Okay, Tony, thank you very much. This one says, my name is Imam Man from Mbai Chain, Rivers State. NDDC is a political party and also a center of corruption. But after the probe, what next? Are we going to die for fighting corruption? I define the list as a political list. No other projects such as employment and empowerment, PMB, APC, has failed Nigeria. All right, back to the phone lines. 95.1 FM. What's your name?
Yeah, Canada and Co. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
AB is my name.
AB, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Canada, I don't think I can agree with you less. Truth is, we blame ourselves for everything happening in Nigeria.
All right.
Because when I say we are part of the people. We blame, like the instances you gave. Honestly speaking, if the Nigerian people are raising up to say enough is enough, we will definitely have a change in the system.
All right.
I mean, what happened in Nigeria concerning Niger Delta in particular, about a week or 2 weeks ago, is enough to cause, serious mass protests around the Niger Delta area. And I mean, until the president will be forced to suspend Fabio, will be forced to, dissolve the interim board of the NDDC, he will be forced to make so many changes that will bring, serious impact positively on Niger Delta.
Right.
But we are so docile. And when Jonathan was there, you see that even from here, we were all ready for anything to, protest and all of that. We had a sit out, this and that. But today, we have a situation where fuel, they told us they have removed subsidy, and yet they increased the fuel price to the top levels. People grumbly paid, and nobody cared, and nobody is talking anything. And at the end of the day, we turn around to see that they were still paying subsidy, claiming to pay subsidy, and all of that, and nothing happened. So why won't a few people in Aso Rock and different, government houses in the 36 states hold their people to ransom, and that they give you something to do in federal government agency, and all you do there is just to play games with somebody. I mean, people's destiny. Like I said, Bakuba said that 81 billion naira is just like something that picking pocket will just do. You just pickpocketing that. It's nothing.
I need to get my skills sharpened then, my pickpocketing skills. All right, thank you.
It's quite unfortunate. Thank you
very much there.
95.1 FM.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome, Bolu. I call back again. Sorry, I'm listening.
All right, go
on. Canada, I think the speaker is being economic with that letter that he read. He couldn't read everything because I don't think I probably may have apologized. Maybe for his outburst then at the house. But I think that Fabio somehow have submitted that list to him to read that. But he failed to read it. He only read the one that people will see that maybe Fabio was trying to malign their image or whatsoever.
So doesn't that go against his duties?
And yes, you understand? That was what happened there. That's what I sent out. And through that letter I read, the post I read about the youth council, they said the same thing. So Canada, for me, I think nothing will come out of this group because right now attention has been shifted from the forensic audit. We are now talking about probing from the National Assembly. Is that not to divert attention? So what happened to the forensic audit that Mr. President's order should be carried out from 2001 since NDC was constituted?
All right.
You understand? So for me, I foresee that nothing might come out from this probe. So for me, let Mr. President please act fast. Please, if we to change the current Minister of Nigeria Data Affairs and the interim management committee to ensure that probe is carried, because all the National Assembly members, they are involved on this. So I sense that there is a rat somewhere, you understand? A hand of rat.
All right.
What's happening?
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We've got to move on now. 95.1 FM. What's your name?
Man of the people, Bolu Wells. Good afternoon.
Gift.
Man of the people.
I just greeted you. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Forget about Akpabio. That letter, nothing will come out from that letter. People are talking about 2019 May to 2020, and you are bringing James Manager that headed that place in Senate of 2015. What is the correlation there? What is the link there? And now James Manager has come out. He has given him ultimatum that if you don't exonerate me at the end of the day, I'm heading to court against you.
Who mentioned James Manager? It wasn't that public.
It was the letter.
It was the one by the Auditor General, not Akpabio.
No. This very letter you're talking about, senators.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, yeah, James Manager. Sorry, yeah, James Manager was mentioned. Yes, sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, true.
And that one is something of 2015, and even that one, James Manager said, I have never for once received any contract from there. Link me to any of my companies, because you know my companies are out there. You know these National Assembly guys are very smart. They will send either gift or Canada or Wells to go and take the contract.
When are they sending me?
Yes, his name is not there. His company, so now he's challenging the man back again. Pablo should be careful. They are all in this. That was why Buma was accusing
All right. Thank you very much, Gay from Yenagua. 95.1 FM.
Hello,
What's your name?
Mr. John.
John Walker. Yeah.
Yes, you see, I disagree with Bolu and Wells when they say Abado should resign or Buhari should,
But I mean, he should step aside. I mean, nobody.
No.
But Magu stepped aside. But Magu stepped aside.
Coming up is just allegations.
John, you were one of the people clapping when Magu stepped aside. You were one of the people clapping. Yes.
Of course. Now look at the Mago has been,
He has not been indicted. He has not been indicted. No, he has not been indicted, as a matter of fact.
But that of Akpabio, it is just trumped up allegations, which even the Senate has concluded this investigation and sent a report. In that report, did they say Akpabio steal any money?
They said he should resign. They said he should resign.
No,
Go.
They say the IMC should, be dissolved.
And that the president should be directly involved in the supervision of.
That does not mean that the Niger Family Ministry should not exist anymore.
Nobody is taking away the fact that the NDDC should exist. You understand? But we're saying that for a commission that has milked dry the people and not delivered so much from its agenda, it should be for now. People in the management of that commission should step down.
But he has been alleged to have corrupted.
He's just a supervising minister.
But when there is an allegation, don't you think that he should step down and clear his name?
The allegations against
John,
him.
just
The
indicted
allegations
himself.
against him. No, forget it.
No.
Self-indicted.
Okay.
The allegations against him.
Now.
Step aside.
Let me conclude. You see, Akpabio is a supervising minister. He's not the manager of NDDC. NDDC only reports to him when there is withdrawal of 1 billion naira and above. And in this amount, it's only 3 amounts as such that has come to his table.
Let's leave that one. Let's leave that one. Let's look at the one allegations. No. There are allegations by Joy Nunia. There are allegations by Peter Nwabuchi. There are allegations that
if they were not strong enough allegations, he probably wouldn't be facing the panel.
You can't. If everybody start resigning because of flimsy allegations,
nobody said they should resign. They say step aside. I mean, Magu has come out to say that all the allegations against him are trump-up allegations, but he's still suspended, isn't he?
See,
he probably shouldn't be suspended because they're just flimsy allegations as well.
A body, government body.
No, it's not a government body.
Indicted him. Not a
when you say indicted, he has not been in. See, if you're going to say indicted, the Senate has indicted Akpabio. The Senate. All right, fine. You win.
Recommendations.
I'm talking about Peter Nwabuchi's letter or report to the Senate. They also indicted him.
Peter Nwabuchi is an individual, and he is also involved in this matter. And you cannot be involved and be a judge of your own matter.
And that is how Akpabio cannot be involved and also be the one. Anyways, thank you very much, John.
You are drinking from your own cup. You're talking about the fact that Peter Nwabuchi is an individual, and then it makes no sense.
It can't be the player and the referee.
Taking away the fact that the NDDC should be run by certain persons or clearing out the management of the NDDC was simply saying that if you are there and there is an allegation on you clear your name because this particular commission is going through a whole lot of investigation.
After all, we saw the vice president coming out to say, I'm going to waive my immunity to clear my name. So step aside and clear your name. Who are you? 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
This is Momo.
Momo, welcome.
Yes. The bad is before you try to drop some. First of all, just yourself. You are right, husband. See them come out right from 2016 that they say that they want to fight corruption in this country. During that 2016, can President tell one person that he confirmed? No, the answer is no.
I'm not guessing. Can
one
the president
that he did what?
Can you tell me anybody that the president who say this is the one that this one is a corrupt person in this country? The answer is no.
Really now? EFCC has been doing that on behalf. No. EFCC has been doing that on behalf of the president. So I don't know where you're going to with that comment.
Well, I'm coming. You will understand me. See, if opportunity comes to you, hold that opportunity well. If above you have his own, and this is his time, you understand me? And if the whole Niger Delta go for protest and to call Buhari to remove Akpabio, he will not. You know the reason? He support because if Akpabio to go down to NDDC, my brother, all this crying, talking, all this and this is nothing. Nothing will come out.
All right, thank you very much. Now, going back to John's conversation, there was a time when EFCC were alleged to have initiated an investigation against Akpabio before he joined the PDP, the APC, I beg your pardon. So, I mean, if you're going to go back to say,
I feel that particular argument for me is a no-brainer.
All right, then. Back to the phone lines as we wrap up conversations. 95.1 FM, what's your name?
Yes, Salada.
Yeah.
Good day.
Yeah, what's your name?
Kidin Junior from Abua.
Kidin, welcome.
Thank you very much. Concerning the Akpabio, I don't think Nigerians will believe on Akpabio anymore. But some of us, when Akpabio made that statement, some of us came to believe on Akpabio because we came from areas that 1 or 2 projects from the Niger Delta Ministry and the NDC were awarded to National Assembly members. So when he made that statement, we confirmed that that statement is true. And many Nigerians did so. And for us to hear Akpabio apologize.
But then again, those comments were false. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Sorry?
We're trying to tell you that the apology by Akpabio is allegedly false.
How? Akpabio cannot be blowing cold and hot at the same time.
But that's what we're telling you. Akpabio did not come out to tell you that he apologized. You heard it from Kwajabi Amila.
We only heard he sent a letter.
Yeah, he did not tell you that he came to apologize. He's saying that he did not apologize, but he has sent the names earlier. And that's what he said.
Fine. It's not so. Because some of us then we are angry. How can Akpabio be blowing cold and hot at the same time? Are you hearing me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Nigerians were disappointed by that statement. But if not so, it is he is in the right order. We should publish more.
All right then. And don't be shocked if your name comes out on that list because you're asking him to publish more. But let's do some text messages now, yeah?
All right. This one says, how can you hold politicians accountable when the security agencies are under their firm control? Protests against them, live bullets would be used on you, and immediately counter-protests would be organized, and they would enjoy the protection of the same security agencies. Now, Nigeria has embarked on a journey of no return. This is from 2nd Timothy in Port Harcourt. This one says, you see this... Nigeria politics, they only fight for their personal pockets. See the number of projects one person is collecting without any result. As for the NDDC probe, it's like really
all right.
The more you look, the less you see. Nothing will come out of it. Corruption flight in Nigeria is giving me high blood pressure.
All right.
From Stephanie.
All right.
This one says, what you guys are doing in the studio is more like anti-chess, where you forget the aim of the game, which is to checkmate the king, and after the pawns and officials aimlessly.
All right.
In all this talk, if you don't talk about the president and his inactivity, then there is no point.
We didn't talk about the president. I was saying.
Let me finish his message. He said, what we're reaping now is the fruit of removing history from our curriculum. Don't even worry about the people. They are sitting around the fire and waiting for a cooking resolution, which is imminent. They don't have time for those comedians. It's the message is long now.
Yes, I mean, you should know where you should know where it's going by now. Not them.
All right. This one says Akpabio could be likened to the drowning man grabbing for a loose straw to go down with. The man that said he's confused by Akpabio's fresh revelation chose to be confused. Maybe Akpabio unearthed some more rude jolts to reset his confusion or amnesia. Friday Olu from Chuba.
All right, Friday,
this one says, my dear presenters, the problem we have are our leaders until they realize that they are or they are here to serve, rather. They would not allow development thrive, especially in the private sector. They get into office to enrich themselves by embezzlement and to enslave the people to gain loyalty and submission. I will see the end of this political insanity. That's coming from Jason. And we'll take one more and then one last call and then we'll call it a wrap. This one says there is a Superman behind all of them, and this case would amount to nothing. Even when they arrest them, they will clear them up one way or the other. From Kai Kai.
Kai Kai, I thought Superman was supposed to be saving the world. I mean, sorry.
I mean, at least it's saving something.
All right, I don't think we can take any more calls. It's time for us to leave the studio. It's almost 3, and it's time for the sports crew to come give you all the latest information and make sure you are abreast with the happenings in the world of sports. But I mean, I could give you one or two information myself. The Premier League is over. Arsenal came out 8th position. I mean, we tried, right? We tried. We tried, yeah. Maybe I should play Arsenal's anthem, for coming out 8th. I mean, we tried. I mean, we could have gone down the relegation zone, but stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM. It's been an honor, having you contribute and air your views and sending those texts and messages. Let's do this again tomorrow. The trio will be in the studio as we talk some more for development. If everybody gets tired, we won't get tired. We will keep talking till government listens. Stay tuned. Emeka Dena standing by.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Let's talk football. Let's talk football.
What a devastating strike!
Football is a leisure game.
Sports is actually my job.
Football is boring.
That's not true. It's way more important than that.
What a wonderful goal! Fantastic strike!
As far as I'm concerned, sports is all about passion.
Sports Attack, weekdays 7:30 a.m. and Today's Sports Live 3 p.m. Weekends 1 p.m. to 6 p.m.
For all you need to know in the world of sports, leave the dial on Today 95.1 FM.
Hello, my name is Kanu Wanko, aka Papilo. For the latest and trending sports stories, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
There are a few areas that define a man, like sports.
I think we can live with that.
Beautiful afternoon to you. Welcome to Monday's edition of Today's Sports Live. The show is reaching you from the live studios of a Premium News Talk and Sports radio station, Today 95.1 FM, right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. My name is Wisdom Obina, and I'm not alone in the building. I've got Emeka Dena. Emeka, welcome to the show.
Superman, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to our listeners out there. Yeah.
Okay, and definitely we would be talking about it. If you're a sports fan, you definitely would be really itching to hear what has happened after the English Premier League was wrapped up yesterday. We'll talk about it. We'll also talk about Sunday Dari. Yes, he says the sports festival will go on this year. And we're asking, is that something that is feasible looking at the timing? I mean, we are a few days from August, and we are still talking about the festival going on. No sports is currently going on in the country, and he says the sports festival in Edo State 2020 would go on. We'll also talk about the Serie A, also wrapped up yesterday with Cristiano Ronaldo helping Juventus to another Serie A title, 9th consecutive one for the champions. And we'll also give you some transfer tidbits, especially as it concerns some players who might just be looking for greener pastures elsewhere, both from England and other parts of Europe. The show is packaged to be interactive, so we encourage you to be part of it by hitting us on any of our interactive platforms. For SMS or WhatsApp, it's 0701 9339 962. I'll take it again. 0701 9339 962. On for the SMS and WhatsApp, it's the same number, and the WhatsApp is on. You can also join us on Twitter at TodayFM951. That is at TodayFM951. Or you can copy my handle at wisdom_OB. That is at wisdom_OB. And send us your reactions, and we would also be reading it here on the show. In due time, we'll open up the phone lines for you to air your opinion live on the show. All right, we start off with other sports, where the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari, has insisted that the Edo National Sports Festival will go ahead this year. The sports minister, who was a guest on a TV program monitored by Today's Sports Live, recalled the series of meetings that took place last month, where the ministry came up with the idea of going ahead with the festival. However, that decision has been met with a lot of criticisms from Nigerians, with most enthusiasts believing that holding the National Sports Festival in 2020 will be too early. But Dari still believes it will go on.
I can say that our expectation is that it happens this year. And I take my cue from the meeting of the National Council on Sports. That is the highest sports decision-making body in the country. We had a virtual meeting about 3 months ago, about 11 weeks ago, and the council unanimously agreed that the sports festival should hold in 2020. That means between now and perhaps December. We immediately set up an 11-man committee that went to Benin to check the
1,000 cases in the country,